So you want to get into thrifting, but have absolutely no idea where to start. Don't worry, I've got you. Let me start out by saying that I am very new to thrifting, okay? I would still class myself as a beginner. So this video is in no way a professional's guide on how to thrift, okay? I just thought it'd be really good for me to give you a beginner's guide as a beginner. Do your research, just like anything that you're wanting to get into or wanting to start. I would always say make sure you look into that thing first before you do it. Make sure it's something you do want to do. You might have just seen that word thrown around and be curious about what it is. So look into what thrifting is, look into how you can thrift, look into the benefits of thrifting. I recently actually did a video on that, so you can look back at my previous video because I did share some of my favorite things about thrifting in that video. Look into the cons of thrifting if you want to as well. Just make sure you do some thorough research before starting the process, because you might actually start doing the research and be like, actually, this isn't for me. But also on the opposite side of that, you might do the research and think, wow, I need to make a start. And that brings me on nicely to my second point, which is just start. What are you waiting for? Just start. I sat around and waited for so long, hearing this term being thrown around here, there, in vlogs on social media, and just not unpicking it, not looking further into what it was. I was just very much thinking about the word, knowing it was something I wanted to explore more and had an interest in, but then didn't do the research, didn't make the start. So I feel like I was a little bit fearful, and I don't know why. Now I've started, I have no idea why I was, but I suppose it's like with anything new, you do get a little bit worried, I guess, about what's going to come from that. But my biggest advice would definitely be to just start. You know, don't let fear get in the way. Don't let anything hold you back from doing it if it is something you want to do. That's the biggest advice I can give you. Just go for it. After doing my research and deciding that this was something I wanted to explore even further, I started to devise like a little plan for myself to think about how I'm gonna tackle this. Okay, what am I gonna do to get started? Because it's okay thinking, oh yeah, okay, I want to start now. You kind of need a plan on how you're going to make that start, whether that's shopping online, whether that's shopping in person. You know, you need to narrow these things down when you do your research. Well, I personally decided that I wanted to shop in person. I know it's going to be a little bit more daunting, but I felt like that was how I wanted to shop. You know, I wanted to feel the items, I wanted to see the items. I would definitely suggest starting small if you are going to shop in person or even online. I would say, you know, maybe start off just shopping at one place, see what that's like, get a feel for that. You know, maybe give yourself a budget if you want to as well. That is optional. You don't have to give yourself a budget, obviously, but that can make the process a little bit more fun and turn it into a bit of a challenge as well. But if you don't want to do that, just go with whatever you have and see what you can find. You know, there are so many gems out there, and I feel like keeping it small will prevent you from feeling overwhelmed, because with thrifting you can very much get overwhelmed very quickly. So I would say start small. I personally decided that I was going to shop local. So if you are someone who's a little bit worried about, you know, going out into a thrifting environment, you kind of don't know what to expect, then I would definitely say shop in an area you are familiar with and comfortable with. That's what I did initially. So I went to an area that I know well. I actually went on Google and just started doing some research of, you know, charity shops. That's how I started out, and then came across a few that I'd seen before but just never been in, and they were in areas that I knew. So I didn't actually feel that worried about going to visit these shops. I did have moments where I was like, I just don't know what this is going to be like, you know, but after that first shopping experience, I was fine. I think I just needed to just do it. And after doing it, all good. So definitely start small and definitely shop local. That would be my advice to you. When you start, be intentional. Be intentional, but also be open-minded. And I know that's difficult because it feels like those are on like two opposite sides of the spectrum. But what I mean by that is pick items you actually feel you need, items you feel you want, items you feel you'll actually wear, items of a good quality, items that are actually worth the money. You know, sometimes you can get excited because something's £5, but then look at it, like, is it worth £5? Would you pay that for it? Do you feel like it's worth the cost? So you have to kind of factor in all of those thoughts, but also if something calls to you, if you get a gut instinct that this piece is something I really want to buy, also listen to that too. But think about whether this is just like a random buy, but you're called to this thing. Think about whether it's worth the price as well. So if this random thing is £15, but you don't know if you're actually going to wear it, you know, weigh up the odds. Do I need it? Do I actually need it? So I did a lot of that in the beginning because I was kind of going in, picking up loads of random stuff and being like, oh yeah, no, I can do this with it, I can do. And then I had to just kind of get real with myself and be like, right, okay, is it going to fit you? Do you like the style of it? Is it something you're going to get a lot of wear out of? Like, all of these questions kept coming up. And then through practicing, I'll say, and going to more shops, I just kind of developed my own way of thrifting now, and it works really well for me. So I always have those questions in the back of my mind before buying anything. And not only does that save me some money, it also prevents me from buying a load of stuff that I'm not going to wear. I have to say, I've been pretty lucky with the shops that I've been to because everyone's been very accommodating, very friendly. It's like being a very safe environment, and I hope you all get that same experience too, because I think it's really important when you are thrifting to ask questions. You know, don't be afraid to go to the staff members that will be there and query, you know, can I get this for this price, or does this have any history to it? They might be able to answer your questions, they also might not. But I think it's a great way to interact with others, build your confidence that way, but also to ensure that what you're buying is really something that you want to buy. I think it just pours into that intentionality again. It is nerve-wracking at first, you know, asking these questions and talking to staff, but I definitely encourage you to do that. I think that would pretty much be my advice at this stage. Obviously, I'm still a beginner, so I've still got some learning to do and some more thrifting to do. So the tips and advice will probably increase over time, but I just wanted to give you a little starter pack, let's say, for right now. Because like I said, we want you to just start if it's something you are wanting to get into. I think where I'm at now, I'm definitely looking at branching out further. So whether that's by shopping in a different area that I'm not familiar with, maybe doing some research into areas and seeing what calls my name, or potentially shopping at more than one shop at a time as well. I actually did that the other day and it was so fun. I was like, okay, you've got 30 minutes in this one, 30 minutes in that one. So you can turn it into a fun exercise as well. It doesn't have to be tiring, you know, it doesn't have to be boring, and it is far from that if you're somebody that enjoys shopping. I feel like sometimes when you get that urge to go, it's because something's calling you. I know it sounds really weird, but like, I'm a big believer in signs, and sometimes when I get that urge to go thrifting, I listen to it, because those are the days when I tend to find the gems. That pretty much sums up everything I wanted to say. I look forward to what else is to come, and I'm so excited for those of you that are about to start out on your thrifting journey. Don't be afraid, you've got this, and I'd love to hear all about it. So feel free to leave me a comment to let me know how your experience is going, and I will see you in the next one.